Hey everybody, I'm Steve Owens, one of the tournament directors with the Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series. And we're here in Milledgeville, Georgia for our Lake Sinclair event. This is event number 5 for us. But I'm gonna let Daniel Woodcock talk to you here for just a minute. We got a grassroots club fishing with us today. So I'm gonna let him go ahead and get his anglers out. We'll go ahead and hand out those awards. Then we'll jump back in and I'll just run my mouth a little bit about Georgia stuff. So Daniel, we appreciate y'all fishing with us.
Thank you, Steve.
I'll let you go ahead and take care of what you gotta do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Once again, I'd like to thank Steve Owens and Georgia Bass Nation for inviting us with the grassroots stuff. We're with the Southeast Georgia Kayak Bass Fishing. My home base is out of Savannah, Georgia, if nobody knows. So with that being said, we'll jump right into the awards. We'll start with big fish with a 21 1/4 inch, Mr. Marvin Santana. So Marvin,
what's going on?
how you, sir?
Just fine. Just
Good.
Fine.
So tell us what you caught it on and
I just threw a frog all day, basically. Fish docks, and got lucky and ended up with a 21 and some change. And looked for some more, couldn't find any more. Ended up with a small limit, but it was fun. I ended up building my own rod to catch these fish from previous tournaments, so it was kind of a success. Went home with a little bit of money yeah. That's all.
Well, stay up here.
All right.
So in third place with 78 3/4 inches,
Okay.
Mr. Marvin Santana.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah.
Man, nobody told me I had a piece of shrimp on my. But yeah, sweet. Ended up with third place. That's interesting. I ended up, with not finding very many fish, like bigger fish that could have. But at third place, I went home with some wood. Didn't catch them on wood, kind of on some grass and docks and stuff. Later on in the day, I ran out of grass that was holding the bigger fish, and just burned my trolling motor out just about to like last little drop, looking for that stuff. But yeah, it was sweet.
Well, thank you, sir.
Glad I showed up.
Made that trip from Augusta, right?
Yeah. Sweet.
Placing second with 79 3/4 inches, Mr. Eric Hawks. So Eric, kind of explain your day to us a little bit.
Yeah, so I did get to do a little bit of pre-fishing. I live like 2 minutes from the lake, and had a little bit of success during pre-fishing. It wasn't great, but the water was up, I think Wednesday after we had the rains. They brought it down about 1.5 feet, and it really showed. It really toughened up, today. But caught several fish today. Most were short, wasn't too big, but everything was on a jig. I swim a jig most of the time, but I ended up catching my biggest one on a flipping jig a little bit later in the day. Thought the storms was going to get us, to be honest, because it got a little dicey there. But thankfully it rolled out and kind of dissipated. But not a bad day.
Not a bad day. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, you can have that.
Yeah, I can have that too. Rounding out the top three with number 1 with 85 3/4 inches, Mr. Richard Carbon. Come on, get you some camera time. Hold that right. So kind of tell me about your day. Yep, just hold it. Yeah.
Okay, came up yesterday, get a little practice in, not too familiar with the lake. Didn't catch that many, so I went south to where I started yesterday and did pretty much fished the front side and Caught one big one on popper, and then I just fished dock posts and brush piles with drop shot all day, and it did it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, once again, we're here in Milledgeville, Georgia. We're at the Pickle Barrel. If you've never been here, it's a pretty great place. Got a lot of good food, a lot of good beer and stuff like that. About anything you want to do here on Lake Sinclair. So we appreciate them supporting us. They've supported us the last 3 years, which makes it to where we can get the cool looking stuff that we've got. Fishing this morning kind of made me a little nervous. I was watching, as I was getting down here. I had some construction stuff at home yesterday, and so I wasn't coming down here at midnight last night, go to sleep, look at Tourney X all day. So I came down, and our judge got the fish Hope going, and got a new judge. He's doing really good for us. He's a retired vet. We appreciate what he does. We appreciate his service. So you see behind me, we've got Purple Heart Homes. We're partnered with Real Heroes, which is a division of Purple Heart Homes, and what they do is they support our men and women in the military when they come home, much like Clay Ragsdale does with what he does, but they do home repairs. And don't forget, in July, we've got a tournament with Purple Heart Homes ran by Vinny Ferrari with Queen City Bass Fishing Club. Y'all know Vinny. He's a great tournament director. He's taking and going on that tournament July the 12th on Lake Norman. So we're going to meet July the 11th on a Friday and have a good dinner, a shindig, and thank everybody. And then Saturday, everybody's going to go out and fish, and going to have a lot of good prizes to go to these veterans, and we really appreciate everything there. This year, we give $1 per angler, plus you all have the option to donate. And this week, we got $82 to donate to Purple Heart Homes. They called me, as you heard on the captain's meeting, if you watched it. They called the other day, and they're really happy about what you all are doing there. So please keep that up. We welcome back Carl Black Chevrolet as our Angler of the Year. It's $1,000 cash. This year, thanks to GSM, we're able to get some prizes to go to second and third. Hopefully get some more stuff for the state championship, where 10% of you go to the Bassmaster Championship. It's going to be in Tennessee next year. And Dugout Bait and Tackles back is one of our title sponsors. They're a big part of the kayak industry and the Southeast, especially over the last 5 or 6 years. We appreciate everything that they do. And you see the banner here. We're back on Tourney X. We got a kayak to give away. At the state championship. As always, we've got a Newport Vessels motor to give away at the championship. So we'll dive into awards here. I'm just going to call out the top 5. We played 3 places today, but we'll go ahead and just give the top 5 their due, because anytime you fish, against any state in the Southeast, if you're in the top 5, you did something. So, and the Angler of the Year points. We'll try to get those updated by Thursday. It's a little time consuming, just triple check everything, but Sassy Dan does a great job of that. But in 5th place with 79 3/4 inches, Eric Hawks. We'll let Eric talk about his day. You just heard him with the SEK. That's why I never say names. I can't remember all these acronyms. Yeah. Yeah. So Daniel's Club. So we just let you talk about your day, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll hit on it at a little bit different angle. So I ran a lot of topwater first thing this morning where they had dropped the lake. A lot of the seawalls and the riprap and everything. A lot of it was exposed, and you had 6 inches, maybe 10 inches of water on some of that. So I think it pulled a lot of the fish out, and I caught a 12-incher to start the day doing that. And I kind of switched really quick and just fished docks the rest of the day with the jig. Had to weed through several, and finally made a few upgrades to have what I had. So
all right. Well, we appreciate anybody you want to thank. I know you got a very supportive home life. She let you do about what you want to do on the fishing
I got to
side.
thank my wife. Fish a lot of these things. So, but besides that, that's about it.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yes,
Good
sir.
job. All right, in 4th place, just barely outside of check cashing and trophy range, with 83 1/4 inches. He had a 20-incher and a 19 3/4 down here. Chris Spall. Appreciate you, Chris. We'll let you talk about what you did today. I know you had a lot of company this morning when you launched, you said?
I had a lot of company, about 120 boats launched with me.
I came out Tuesday and the seawalls were fully covered and the buzzbait was working like nobody's business. And like Eric said, I came back out today and there was no water on the walls. So I moved out to the grass that had revealed itself and stuck with a buzzbait almost all day and a couple of wacky fish. And that's about it.
All right. We appreciate you coming out. You got some good points, and I think you're already qualified for state. So, but either way, we appreciate you continue fishing with us, man. He fishes everything. Thank you. All right. In third place with 85 3/4 inches, looked like he caught, I think he uploaded the most to Tourney X as far as scoreable fish today. He had a 20-inch and a 17-inch. Richard Carbone. We'll make this as difficult on him as we can. We're going to let you hold your little trophy too, and your microphone. So, Richard, you take home $408 today. So we appreciate you coming out.
So I came up yesterday, got a little practice in, pretty much ran a bridge with a frick side called Few. Then I went to docks, fishing walkways with a Bronco bug and a wacky rig. I think yesterday because the sun was out, they were on the walkways. Today seemed like they were on the end of the docks, on brush piles and on the poles. I caught big one this morning on a little popper and also caught a few this morning frick side on the same bridge to get my day started.
All right, man. We appreciate you coming out. You got any more? We know we got many events left. So you gonna fish any more this year?
I plan on doing Russell for sure.
Okay.
I already got Airbnb booked.
Yeah. All right, man. And by the way, if y'all came last year, we're meeting at Ain't It Good again on Lake Russell, which is, one of the best barbecue eateries. As you can tell, I like barbecue, and I get to travel the whole country. And Ain't It Good is pretty damn good. So
Phone service sucks at Russell.
it does. Phone service ain't great, as Joseph Gayton will tell you. But we appreciate you, Richard. We'll see you up at Lake Russell soon. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Since I'm a master of efficiency, what I did was chose to do big bass and place at the same time. So Keith Martin, come up. Keith caught a 23 1/4 inch fish down here today. So Keith is our Sniper Marine Big Bass winner, coming off the heels of a third place victory or place on Clark's Hill. We're just going to let you just talk about the big fish first.
The big fish came after the rain moved through, fishing on end of a boat ramp with a Ned rig, believe it or not. But
How'd you feel? You puckered up?
well, I didn't realize how big it was till it jumped, and then I about fell out.
Oh, you about to drop your rod.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Literally a bass jump. I dropped my rod in the kayak.
I was kicking the net around, stuff like that.
Yeah. What do you think Coot's going to think about you landing that big fish?
He'll probably call me today.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. We miss old Coot's toy. We need to come back out. So caught it on a Ned rig. Keith, he had 3 squeakers, a 14 1/4, 14 3/4, 14 3/4, but he had a 19 1/2. So that's what sent you over, Richard. So what filled out the rest of your limit down here this weekend?
Rattle trap on Rocky Points.
Gotcha. See, I mean, everybody thinks like the rattle trap is a February, pre-spawn, and all that, but post-spawn, he's wrecking them. We got some buddies back home on Chickamauga I fished with the other day that, probably caught 25 pounds still throwing a rattle trap. So, I mean, it's kind of like a jerk bait for me. I think a rattle trap's turned into just throw it all the time if that's what you want to throw, especially as pressured as everything is. But
I've always done good on post-spawn with
rattle trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Keith gets $170 for the Sniper Marine Big Bass and takes home. Your wife watching?
No.
Okay, $612 for second place. So we appreciate you coming out, Keith. Good job, man. It's always good to see you. Good to see you. Go ahead and give him second place. Yes, sir. He had 86 1/2 total for second. And y'all don't run off. We're going to do the obvious photos. Yes, I'm just going to do a picture in just a minute. So. All right, in first place, taking home $1,020. He had a 16 1/2, a 19 3/4, 23 1/4, a 22, and a 22 1/4. The 101 1/4 inches, Josh Choi.
Yeah, shake my hand first.
I think I got a couple of 2-year-old checks in my garage for you that you ain't picked up. You and Benjamin Bang. So yeah, we finally get to see you. So we appreciate it. Let me spin this around so we can get to hear you good. The green light goes up top. So
All right.
all right. Sassy Dan's got all the good equipment with him at Pickwick. So you got me. So Josh, obviously you fish everything pretty well, no matter where we're at. But I was told to ask you, no vagueness, what you caught your fish on.
All right.
And how
I
you
mean,
did it. So,
Honestly, it was a chatterbait. Up on the seawalls this morning, I tried fishing the grass, looking for maybe like a shad spawn deal, and it never panned out. And a lot of the bass boat guys in the area that I was in were running the grass, so I decided just to hit seawalls. Switched over to I'll be specific for you, an Evo, half-ounce Evo with a 5-inch diesel on it, green pumpkin. And like the guys were saying, water dropped, and a lot of that stuff that I caught bigger fish on was out of the water for the most part, and the first 20-incher hit off of the banks. So started running that, and then caught the 19, and then caught the 22, and that kind of clued me in. So I figured out which points to hit in the seawalls, and called one more time, maybe a quarter of an inch, and then caught that 22 with around 130. But I mean, it was the kind of point that I caught the big ones on, so that's where I stuck, and finally broke 100 for the first time. So yeah.
all right, you did good. I think you might be the first over 100-inch limit that we've got in a series, other than during the state championship. So we appreciate you coming out. You got anybody you want to thank? I know you got a good support system at home.
Yeah. My wife, she supports me doing this. So traveling and fishing like a madman. So
yeah.
She backs me, and family and friends, and obviously you hosting all these tournaments. We appreciate you traveling and putting these on. So
all right, well, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. After that Marietta and Atlanta traffic, y'all really should appreciate me today. It was actually south of Atlanta that got me. It was about an hour and a half. It was rough, but as we mentioned, we're going to Lake Russell, and I did this on purpose. We're booking the Three Rivers back here in Milledgeville so that I can not have to go to ICAST this year. So I'm looking forward to that one, and I'm going to fish it. I suck down here on the rivers. Nick Dyer and Dylan Lowry's taking me out. I've been out with some other people before, and my personal best show bass is a 14.5. So I got to do something about that. And so, and then we're going to close out the season on Notley. I know some of y'all fish Notley, but it's new for a trail series. So going to be pretty interesting time there. And then of course our championship's going to be on Lake Lanier. We're going to be down around the Oakwood Bait and Tackle, Atlanta Kayak Company area. So working on some things there. As I told everybody, I think I got a pretty good situation next year if it pans out. We want to try to do $50 an hour additional big bass prize on top of your Sniper Marine prize. So it's just kind of something, to keep you engaged, something to think about in the back of your mind when you're aggravated because you're not catching much, but then you throw that frog for 2 hours and you get that one annihilating bite. So I want to thank all these people behind us because, there's a lot that goes on. Admin wise to put these on. This stuff is amazing. I love doing it. It's fun. It's what I get to do now. Thanks to all of y'all supporting the Trail Series for a living. So it's more than just tournament fishing. It's a personal connection because, my life's been changed by what we get to do here, and I appreciate all of y'all. So we're going to get some prizes out of the way. Appreciate all of y'all tuning in at home, and we'll catch up with you in just a little bit. Thank you.
What matters to you? Commitment, dedication, precision, connection. Catching fish? Good. That matters to us too.